Hey guys, Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather. It is 3:50 in the morning. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Davidson County, and this is for a storm separate from the ones that we've been having. Obviously, a lot of damage downtown, but this is a severe thunderstorm that's going to be affecting northern Davidson County here. And primarily, they're worried about 60-mile-an-hour winds here out of this storm. So let's go over to velocities and check this out. This is for up here in Cheatham County. You see where these strong winds here, showing about 65 miles an hour there coming into Davidson County here in just a few moments around Joelton. So this will be coming down I-24 here, and we'll be encountering Joelton here in just a minute. So as far as who's included in this warning for strong winds, this is basically everybody north of the 24-65 split. They're north of downtown Nashville. So it includes areas like Fontenelle, Beeman Park, Joelton, Bakers, Luton's, Ivy Point, Greer Road up that way, Goodlettsville, all the way down to Madison and Lakewood. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning for strong winds. So if you're just joining us here, this is for some strong straight line winds. This is not for tornado situation. This is for strong straight line winds up in the northern part of Davidson County. Excuse me just a moment. I'm going to be doing a lot of coughing through this, and I apologize for that. So as the storm comes down I-24 through Joelton, it's kind of moving to the east here, so it probably will cross I-24 and then go into areas over here like Union Hill Road, Union Hill Speedway up there, Greer Road, Ivy Point, Licton Pike, over into the Bakers community back in the hollow there on Baker Road, and then over Old Springfield Pike and Springfield Highways that goes up toward Greenbrier. So those are the areas up there that could experience these strong winds as it comes through. So again, severe thunderstorm warning. Those of you just joining us, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:15 in the morning. It's now 3:53, and so this is in effect until 4:15 for a storm that's coming out of Cheatham County, Ashland City area, just north of there, and for pockets of strong wind as it blows through in the northern part of the county. A lot of trees up in this area of the county, and so certainly opportunity, and with all the heavy rain we've had, certainly an opportunity for some trees to come down on power lines and that kind of thing in these straight line winds. So again, this is not currently a tornado situation we're looking at up there. This is a strong straight line wind severe weather event that we have in the northern part of the county that we see much more frequently in this area than tornadoes. But obviously we've had a substantial hit to life and property in the Davidson County area and off to the east with a tornado that came through a little while ago. So let's take a look at what we have now. So going to velocities here, this is what we're looking at. So you see these blues, these bright blues. These are some strong winds that may be reaching the surface, and radar's reading them at about 60 miles an hour. So that's what it's looking like now. I'm trying to pull up the cameras there in Goodlettsville. Let's see what we have going on there. So this is the Goodlettsville camera looking west, and so this is exactly the direction that the storm is coming from. And probably won't see much with this on the cameras. Probably a lot of rain and some lightning there that you see there, and some wind maybe, but probably won't be able to see that real clearly on the camera. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'll have that off to the side, and we'll see what we see there. Let me just do a quick reminder. Those of you that were affected by the storms near downtown a little bit ago, the tornado that came through there, there's a shelter opened up at the farmers market just north of downtown on Rosa Parks there. So if you're in need of that shelter, that is open. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that since we're on right now and be able to talk about that. All right, so the reason we're on here, if you're just joining us, is a severe thunderstorm warning up in the northern part of Davidson County with a pretty heavy cell that's coming through there that is pretty much a straight line wind threat. Don't see much of a rotation worry right now, but we do see a straight line wind threat up there right now with marginally severe winds. These are about 58, 60 miles an hour. And one little place here, right along Crocker Springs Road up there, could be about 64, 65 miles an hour. So these winds appear to be very localized, not widespread severe wind, but certainly some localized areas up there within the yellow polygon could get some very strong winds very briefly. All right, David's over on Twitter. Will is up taking your reports. And so if you have anything you'd like to report to us, send a tweet out. Use hashtag TSpotter in your tweet. And will get those reports over to the Weather Service. Those reports have been invaluable tonight. And Will has done a fantastic job of getting those reports over there to the Weather Service, and the Weather Service has done a great job in using those reports. So just a great effort all around by so many good people out there tonight, and this process is working of you sending us those reports. So please continue to do that if you see something that needs to be that we need to know about. Any trees down, power lines, that kind of thing. Stay away from all that. But if you would like to send us a picture that you took safely and something that we should know about, just tweet using hashtag TSpotter, and we'll get that over there to the Weather Service. All right, so you're looking here at a radar picture. Let me do a loop here. You can kind of see where it's going. And let me mute just real quick. I'll be right back. All right, you're watching a radar loop there of these storms as they came in from Cheatham County. And they caused a severe thunderstorm warning there in the northern part of Davidson County for these severe winds. So we're going to keep an eye on this for a little while. It's in effect until 4:15 as it pushes off to the east. Heaviest rain right now has gone through Joelton, and it will affect areas, actually it's right on top of like Union Hill Road right now, Greer Road, Licton Pike, Freeman Hollow Road. There's Licton Pike there again. Down in there, Licton Pike runs all the way basically from I-24 over to pretty close to 65. And that's where the heaviest of the rain is right now. Could have some small hail in there up to maybe penny size, a little bit smaller, maybe dimes. So that's possible as well in this storm as it pushes off to the east. So there's the Bakers community right there, and that's very near Springfield Highway, and that's where the heaviest of the wind and rain is right now. Looks like velocities have fallen off just a little bit, but it's losing a little bit of angle on the radar. The radar reads best the velocities when the wind is heading either directly toward or directly away from the radar. When it starts kind of side-swiping the radar beam there, it gets a little bit more tough for the radar to read it well. But nevertheless, looks like velocities come down just a tad, but this storm's pushing off to the east and will be out of Davidson County here in just a few minutes. So what you're experiencing now in Davidson County, up that way in the northern part, is probably about as bad as it's going to get here before it moves on out. Goodlettsville camera showing the rain coming down. Doesn't look like the wind is tremendously strong. You sort of know what to look for after you see these cameras enough. You can kind of watch and see. You can kind of tell if the wind's picking up real heavy. It doesn't look like it is there right now. That's the here's the north camera right next to it looking north. And certainly some heavy rain moving through there as it pushes east. Keep an eye on the camera here just a second. I've got to mute just a minute. Cough, excuse me. All right, back with you here. Let's see. Let's jump on over to radar here. You were looking at the Goodlettsville camera here. Radar not too exciting as far as any rotation. Not seeing anything in there that screams rotation. Maybe some strong winds moving down over like Brickchurch Pike and Licton Pike and Baker Road, but really not seeing anything over about 50 miles an hour. That's good news. We don't need any more damage. and the storm is pretty much about to move into Sumner County. So again, if you're in Davidson County there around I-65, Goodlettsville, all the way up to Bakers, how bad it is right now is probably about as bad as it's going to get up there right now. All right, so severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:15. This is for 60-mile-an-hour winds. The storm is moving east at 60 miles an hour, so it's moving on. It's getting after it pretty good, and it looks to be out of here pretty quick. And 60-mile-an-hour winds are the main threat with this particular storm. So not seeing any tornado potential with this one, which is just fine with us. Let's back out and look at a bigger view now. I'll tell you what, while I'm doing that, you can see the Goodlettsville camera. This is looking north. Excuse me. And this is looking down Main Street in Goodlettsville. All right, backing out on the radar here, we have more storms coming in from Cheatham County into Davidson County. So those of you that are outside, or if you have people that you know that are outside right now in Nashville that have sustained damage, more rain is incoming, and it's going to be heavy, it looks like, at least for a while, as it comes in through West Nashville and into downtown. So could even be some small hail mixed in there in Cheatham County, moving into Bells Bend here in just a minute. That'll move pretty close to the damage path of the earlier tornado that came through town and pushed off to the east. So those of you that you may know somebody outside, you might want to let them know that there's more rain and more storms coming through here in just a few minutes. Looks like a significant weather advisory for Davidson, Southern Sumner, Northeastern Williamson. So they're just kind of doing a blanket significant weather advisory here to cover the additional storms that are coming through till 4:30. And so that is not a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's kind of a heads up for some strong weather coming through that's subsevere. Again, let me mute for just a second. Excuse me. All right, back with you here. Let's take a look at the velocities. You're asking about inflow at the bottom of the cell. If we're looking at the same thing, just looks like some pretty unidirectional winds here. Not seeing anything concerning as far as shear. And so, yeah, the storms do have some inflow from the south, but not seeing anything too crazy here as far as velocities. That's good. And I'm looking off screen here at another radar. In fact, I'll just go ahead and show it to you. So this is TB&A radar, and this is showing, this is out of Nolensville, and it doesn't have a great read on that cell up to the north because the radar beam is kind of hitting it at a bad direction there. This out to the west is quite a good ways aloft. Very strong winds up at about 2,200 feet, but those likely are not reaching the ground. And switching back over to the other radar here, we'll go back and take a look and see that storm pretty much now has moved on into Sumner County. So those of you north of Madison, getting some very heavy rain up there, excuse me, around the old DuPont plant, just north of Old Hickory there, and some very strong rain, excuse me, out there near Rivergate Mall, pushing to the east. So very strong rain, some lightning up there, but nothing right now that indicates that there are some very strong winds. Excuse me again, just a moment. All right, excuse me. All right, so it looks like now that the National Weather Service has canceled that severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County. And we saw the velocities drop there on the radar, and that's what they were seeing as well, and decided to go ahead and cancel that severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to jump off of here. We are still working to just kind of survey and see kind of what happened there in Davidson County with that tornado that went through there a little bit earlier, and certainly a lot of folks affected there. And we know that the sun will bring a lot more images and video of people's lives that were affected in a big way. And so we'll see how things look in the morning. But for now, the severe thunderstorm warning has been discontinued. It's been canceled for Davidson County. We'll jump off of here, and I hope you'll have a good rest of the night.